Yeah. Hey, welcome to the Legends Corner, man, where only legends are allowed. Today we got a special guest with us, man. Five-time All-American, former NCAA Indoor Long Jump Champion, professional track and field athlete, young coach, assistant coach at Arkansas State, man. Great young coach on the Division I level. Even better guy, man. Will Williams. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. I'm straight.
Yeah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's jump on into it, man. You're from Chicago, correct?
Yeah, just outside Chicago. Yeah.
Talk to me what it's at.
So I'm from a little city called Forsyth, Illinois. If you do a little background, it used to serve as one of the stops for the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
So small little city, population about between 2,200 and 3,000. Everybody know everybody. There's a lot going on there right now, so I don't really go back too often.
How was it like growing up in that area?
It was difficult, especially with my mom being a single mom of 5 and me being the middle child, which I was kind of always the independent one.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like it was a lot of violence. Like people did a lot of things just to, quote unquote earn their stripes or whatnot. So like it's just a product of the environment. But I was just one of them, me and my friend actually, we were like one of the two who actually just was smart enough to, adapt and get out of that.
No, definitely. That's what matters most, man. I had a single mother growing up too, man. So I know how, the environment kind of creates situations where we gotta either overcome it or become a victim of it. But how are you like introduced into sports? When did that come about?
So sports, it was like everybody, the hood or whatever, everybody played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody did basketball, football, but it was just like it was more so recreational. None of us did it in a sense of like we trying to get to the league and whatnot. It was more so for like street talk. So I started my very first sport was football. I started football in 4th grade, which is my mom kind of considered that more God given than any other sport because you would just give me the ball, I score 3-4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
And I also was a gifted defensive back. So started with football. Then I moved out the hood. I was into the hood next door, like maybe 3 minutes away. And my neighbor, he was like number 1 in the state in basketball. Okay. So that's how I got into basketball. He was like number 1 in the state by the time I got to like 7th, 8th grade. Started 7th grade and I just could jump. Okay. So the coach just kind of put me on the team just to get rebounds. Whatever. I was trash. Neighbor was cold, so we won majority of our games. I think we made to state like 2 times.
So it's safer to say that you was a better football player.
I was for sure better. I was a better football player until I stopped.
Okay. Running back or receiver?
Running back. Yeah. I was one of those athletes that I could have done from running back, wide receiver, quarterback to defensive back and free safety. Okay. So going into high school, the district I was in, our coach for the football team was kind of trash. So it's like I was in a position to play varsity my freshman year, but he wanted me to kind of sideline and just learn. And I'm like, I ain't finna do all that.
I'm trying to play
high school. Yeah, I'm like, I'm trying to play now. Like I got the skills to go. I'm better than the majority of the team. Correct. So it's like in high school, I never had that father figure who was just like, nah, you're gonna stay at it, you need to do this and that. So it was so easy for me to just be like, nah, I don't want to do it. I ain't got to deal with all this. So it was so easy for me to quit. So I stopped football. Then I went into basketball. My freshman year of high school, my older brother and older sister there. Okay. I get suspended like the first 2 weeks of high school. Because, they do this thing where they see us throw pennies or something at freshmen. And I wasn't one of them freshmen.
Okay, so for sure.
Got into a little fight. Mom wanted to send me to Mississippi with my grandparents. That didn't last long. Was there for like 2 months. Came back and then I started to pursue basketball more. So then I got on the basketball team freshman year, played well. But I'm gonna fast forward because that's kind of a long story. Got to senior year, got kicked off the team after I had signed a basketball scholarship.
Okay.
what school was it? It was a small Lane Community College. So I signed to Lane Community College. Got kicked off the team like maybe 3 weeks after that for being a knucklehead. I was still kind of a high head. So got kicked off the team for fighting a bus driver.
The bus driver?
Yeah, it was.
What the bus driver do? He trying to get you there.
Nah, listen, we had it was a goofy bus driver. He stayed around the corner from me, and he would be like, he'd be cracking a lot of mama jokes. And then this particular time, it wasn't one of those. It was one of those moments where I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, you can't play with everybody, mama.
Yeah, so he said something about my mom, and I smacked his head. Smacked his head. Then we get to tuffling, and I kind of shoved him off the bus and closed the door. So he told the coach. I don't know why he told the coach, because he played with everybody like that.
Correct.
Coach didn't like me anyways. Got kicked off the team. Then, so after that, this is how I get into track. Like 3 weeks until the end of senior year, I'm going to the track just to pick up a friend. And the track coach comes to my car like, why you keep coming to the track just to tease me, this and that? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm just picking up a friend. So he like, how about you he said, how about you come out here to see if you can see yourself doing this? Go out there. He gave me some high jump spikes. We do high jump. I scissor 6'4". Then he like go over the bar like this. I'm like, nah, that ain't for me, because I hit my back. So I said, nah, that ain't for me. So we go to long jump. He said, go ahead and jump like you're dunking the ball. Do that. And I jump like 22.4 something in practice. He's like, okay. Then he like, come to the meet tomorrow. This is Thursday night. He like, come to the meet tomorrow and just see if like get a feel of the atmosphere and see if you can see yourself doing this. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go, give me some long jump spikes again. Like, all right, just go ahead and I want you to run and jump like you're dunking the ball at the white board. So I'm like, okay, cool. So my very first jump was 23.10, and that put me at, I think, number two and number 3 in the state. Okay. And ever since that, it was just like, it was written, like my track story was written from there.
All right, so tell me, and we can go from like graduating from high school, right? So, you know, you had a couple offers on the table, you know, played a couple sports throughout the years. Talk me through the recruiting story. Talk me through the recruiting process.
So the recruiting process, so throughout high school, I got more, with basketball, I got more offers playing AAU ball.
Okay.
And then with track, when I drifted into track, I had one offer from Ohio State, and then I couldn't get into there because my GPA and everything. So then I ended up going the JUCO route, where I got to JUCO and I just excelled expeditiously within that first year. Mm-hmm. I went from 23.11 to 25.6, and then from 25.6 my freshman year to 26.4 my sophomore year. Okay. And then after that, I was recruited from literally every school in the nation.
So were you at the JUCO? Were you in JUCO 1 or 2 years?
2. So two in a semester.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. And a lot of people, like I tell kids today, like a lot of kids think that JUCO is a trap, and it's really a better way out. Like all these kids think they need to go to a major D1 straight out of high school. Mm-hmm. If you want to do that and go to your dream D1, I would say go to JUCO to develop more. Correct. That's kind of what I did. Like by my sophomore year, it wasn't a school in the country that didn't want me to come on a visit.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. A lot of kids do look at JUCOs as a trap. Whole time it's really a stepping stone. Financially better. Going to a lot of JUCOs in the country, like got coaches that really invested into the kids. So no, that definitely was a great way to go. You graduated, you know, compete at the JUCO level. Why Texas A&M? What was your mentality going to Texas A&M?
Why Texas A&M?
Yeah.
That's a funny story, because I did not want to sign to Texas A&M.
Okay.
So in junior college, like back to JUCO, it was me. It was these two Bahamian twins, Lathon and Latario, which they were the number one and number 2 collegiate triple jumpers. Okay. Me and this guy, Andreas Tchaikovsky, he went to University of Arkansas. We were number 1 and number 2 long jumpers, and they left a semester ahead of me, and they signed to Texas A&M. So during my recruiting process and me taking my visits, I'm talking to them about it, and because they went through a year before. I think they went through a year at A&M before I started talking to A&M. So they went through a year, and I would ask them about it. I'm like, why y'all getting hurt? Why y'all not jump? Y'all jump better here. We about to them, and they're like, we just been dealing with injuries. You gonna jump far wherever you go. That's just the athlete you are. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I initially signed to University of Kentucky on April 14th, April 14th of 2015. I signed to University of Kentucky. So signed there, and then that following fall, you have to re-sign your national letter of intent.
Correct.
So, and I was just like, I think I want to take some more visits, because I was kind of trigger happy with the pen. I'm not gonna lie. Every school I went to, I was like, oh yeah. So then,
this is it.
I was like, this is it. So then, the one school that really like gave me chills from the moment I touched down throughout the whole trip was Florida State.
Okay.
So that was, I think Florida State was my first visit coming back for the last semester. So I'm there with Coach Dorian, and my first day, I'm like, this is home. So took that visit. We were good. Then I took another visit to Iowa State, just unofficial though, because that was like right up the street. Took a visit there. I already knew where I was going. And then come signing day, I was back home on signing day, and the Florida State coach, he flew to my hood or whatever, and we were about to sign in my school. And right when I'm about to sign, I think their academic committee or whatever, they wouldn't send over the papers, because I guess they were dealing with, like, I don't know if you're familiar with the APR point system.
Not as much. No, not too familiar.
So in short, the APR point system is like the points that you get them by the number of athletes you graduate.
Okay.
So number of student athletes that graduate, and they so I guess it's kind of how you said their success is what kind of hurt them, because they sent too many athletes professional in track and field without graduating. And then by me coming there, being a number one collegiate long jumper, they kind of thought like it was kind of like high risk.
Right.
And what happened, like so the disciplinary for what happens if you get to like 0, or I think it's 0 or -1 or something like that, the entire team has to sit out for a year. So it's like, he told me that, and couldn't go there no more.
Correct. Damn.
So at this point, I'm kind of fed up with the recruiting process. So I just called Texas A&M. I'm like, I would want to come on a visit there. So I went on a visit. So last minute, it was during the dead period. So I went there on I think I went there on a Thursday. It was a Thursday or a Friday, and I was only there for 1 day. And then I just signed, because I was just tired of it. Because I'm like, okay, the Twins are here. I'm like, maybe we can come here and we can dominate like we did in JUCO. So I signed there, and that was that. I went there in January. That was the start of my A&M career.
No, definitely.
What was the next question about A&M?
Yeah. I was just saying, like, what was kind of like the mentality going there? Because you're in a whole nother different environment now. So
yeah. So since I started long jump, anything I do, my goal is to be the best at it. Like, I'm very studious with my craft, and my ability to process knowledge is kind of unique. So going there, I'm like, I want to be one of the best sprinters, and I want to be the best jumper in the world. Okay. That was easy, my mentality, and everybody on the team got that, and it rubbed off on people. It rubbed off on people the wrong way. Like, I'm training with Fred Curley, Shabazz Hart, Deion Lindor, Braylon Tamplin, the Twins. So these are all world-class athletes who some of them still compete. Right. First of all, rest in peace to Deion Lindor and Shabazz Hart, who recently passed. Deion passed, I think it was early this year, late last year, and Shabazz Hart just passed like last month, I believe. So, okay. So rest in peace to them. Definitely. So it's like being there, and all the guys have egos, and it's like everybody has the same mission. Everybody wants to be the best, not just the best on the collegiate level. We're trying to be the best in the world. We're trying to make these world's teams. Everybody had that same goal. So me coming there, it's like it's new me. I got pride. I got my ego. Correct. So I came there. And one, I don't normally talk smack unless people talk to me, and they brought it out of me, and they thought like it was going to be like one of those things where I just moved to the side and I was never that. So I came there, took a guy spot on the 4x1, and it was like it was a lot of tough love coming on until like I had to earn my stripes.
Correct.
But yeah, and it was real tough love. So.
And wrapping up the A&M career at the end, you finished as the 2018 indoor NCAA Long Jump Champion. You were also a first team All-American, SEC champion. As you look back on your collegiate career, both in Texas and Iowa, talk to me about the experience. Talk to me about those thoughts where you talk about your college experience and the success.
So junior college is like, that's family.
Right.
Like not just within Iowa Western, not just within a program that I was in specifically, the whole junior college community where it is Barden, Iowa Central, Hines, like we're just all family. Like we're all so well connected that a lot of people would never understand.
Okay.
And then like A&M, they're like Fred, Curly, Lindor, all them guys, they're like brothers, you know. Like we're all kings. Like we're at that next level doing what we doing the best we can. Like we handling our business. Like we all have a common goal. So, but like JUCO, that's real family.
Being an athlete, a track athlete, who were one of those other athletes that you looked up to, whether it may be past, present? Who's that? Somebody you modeled? Nobody?
None of them. I studied all of them.
Okay.
From man to woman, man to women. I've studied all of them. Like I said, I'm very studious. But as far as like having someone that I like looked up to, like I want to be like them. Nah, that was never my like cup of tea.
Okay.
The closest person I would say that I really maybe fanboyed about was probably Kobe. And when I used to play basketball, that's why I used to idolize him more so. But as far as track, it's like I see these guys, and it's like when you're in a position where you have the talent and ability to do what these guys do, but better. I can't look up to them because it's like I'm looking up to them, and then like 2-3 years later, I'm beating these guys. I'm gonna probably come to the next model or so.
Right.
So I never just looked up to anyone. I talked to a few Dwight Phillips, who he's my coach. He used to be a mentor to me, then now he's my coach. So as far as that, but no, I never looked up to a track field. I feel like I want to be like him.
No, definitely. But even Kobe, you know what I'm saying, no matter what sport, you can definitely grab something from.
Yeah, Kobe for sure.
Bryant, definitely mentality for sure.
Yeah,
did you face any like adversity kind of transitioning from a student athlete to maybe a professional athlete or coach?
Oh yeah, definitely been that I ended my collegiate career hurt.
Okay.
So it was a lot going on with that. I was in denial for a minute because I just had a thing at A&M where I was kind of indestructible. Like I can run a relay with a strained hamstring. I can jump with a bruised heel, ankle, and things like that. I was kind of like indestructible. So that last year when I got hurt, it was like I was in denial for a minute. I was like, nah, it's gonna be. I was like, cause I got hurt at the West Regionals that year, and I was still trying to compete at nationals or compete at USA nationals. So I'm like, I was in denial for maybe like a month and a half, trying to go into that professional career. Like I'm like, okay, let me get an agent. Let me try to get into some meets. And then the thing that was an eye opener was, I think after like 2 or 3 weeks, after NCs, my coach that I was with, he knew that my season was done, but he knew I was in denial. So I'm like, come out to the track so we can train and whatnot. And he recorded me sprinting. And I looked at the video, I was like,
yeah,
wow.
It ain't me.
Yeah, yeah. I was like that. I looked like I was running in slow motion, and I was like, oh man. So that's when I came to realization, like, okay, like I can't finish the season off because my thing was always if I can run, if I can run, I can jump. So
Right.
it's like I just look so slow in that video, so I'm like, all right, I just got to shut it down and focus on recovering now. And then so after that, once I accepted it, I was in a weird space
Mm-hmm.
mentally. Like I was closed off. I didn't really want to talk to nobody. I just got in the car and drove to my grandparents in Mississippi and was there for a few days, just disconnected from everyone. Then I started the rehab process, got back into it, and my first year out, it was kind of rocky because I kind of after I got cleared, the agent I was with and the coaches the agent I was with, we kind of rushed into some things. So it
Okay.
was kind of rocky. But this year, I think this year is probably the first year that I don't actually got back to myself and feel like myself.
How important was like their road to recovery? Because I talked to a lot of like athletes um, at the University of Tennessee, and just
Mm,
even the young athletes, just really trying to get them that motivation. Once they do get hurt, like you got to kind of embrace it. So,
yeah.
talk to me about the road to recovery mentally and physically.
So the most important thing is being patient,
Mm.
and then after that, patience is listening to your body. Like, because I understood when I got hurt, I understood. Like I didn't understand it in the moment, but I understood exactly why I got hurt, and the main reason that my main reason is because I didn't listen to my coach.
Okay.
Um, so the thing is, we were doing 4x1 exchanges, and then after 4x1 exchanges, I had a couple of approaches. It was kind of a chilly day, in Sacramento. Sacramento, and then I'm doing my approaches. It was just like all off because I was coming with so much speed at the time. So
Mm.
then I got like my last one I was like 2 feet from behind the board, and then my coach was like, "Nah, that's it. That's done. We're done. We'll get it tomorrow." And I of course had like a bunch of like a couple fans and whatnot on the
Right.
side. So I'm like, nah, I gotta get it right now.
Yeah.
And then on that jump, my groin just like
Cool.
it just pulled, yeah. And then like thinking back, I'm like, damn, I should have listened to my coach. I
Mm-hmm.
should have listened to him at the time. But then the process is just like it takes a lot of patience. And like day to day, you gotta take it day to day and week to week. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like I had an athlete today. He hurt his hamstring like a couple of days ago, and then he like, "Can I do this today?" I'm like, "No." He said, "Why not?" I don't feel no pain. I don't feel anything. I'm like, let's not feel no pain for another week or so.
No, definitely.
But yeah, it's just like not rushing the process. And then it's like dealing with injuries. You become so much more in tune with your body. So it's like now I listen to everything my body says.
Mm-hmm. Got
Like
to.
if I feel one thing, I make the adjustments right away. Like
Definitely.
I don't take those type of chances anymore. And it's like it teaches you to do the right things to prevent certain things like a hamstring strain or a bruised Achilles and things like that.
Correct. Correct. And
Yeah.
after all the pain, the injuries, the success, the awards, and having a really just a successful career, still up to this point, and you're still, working. Uh,
Mhm.
what made you coach? Because when I think of coach, especially like young guys like us that come
Mhm.
from a demographic, that's really like our giving back. So tell me like that thought process of going into that career.
Um. So for me, it was actually a lot deeper than just coaching.
Mhm.
So in 2020, we know COVID and everything hit. COVID was kind of like a dead year for everybody. So I was actually I was in at the Birmingham meet with Arkansas State and Coach Patchum and whatever, and we're talking to Coach Patchu, and I just jokingly said like, if you ever need a coaching job, let me know. If you're not a coaching job, but if you ever need a coach, just let me know. And I was really joking, like I didn't have the slightest thing in mind to coach. I'm like, nah,
Okay.
like I was just playing with him.
Right.
So then like a month later, he contacted Sharika, like, what's Will number? And then she like, Will, my boyfriend? And then he's like, yes. So he called me and he told me about the position. He's like, we're not going to put too much on you. I understand you're still training and things like that. I'm just asking you to coach the long jump and the triple jump and get a couple recruits.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know, coach. Give me a couple months to think about it. And they said, all right, we're not in no rush. I just want to throw that out there. We'd like to have you here. Yeah. So I'm like, so I said on, I really was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like it'd be too much to take on while I'm still training myself, whatever. And then so he offered me that job in like the middle of March. It was like a month or so after their conference. Okay. No, a month or so after that meet they had in Birmingham, which was the beginning of February. It's like middle of March. So then my grandfather passed in the middle of April due to COVID at the time. But so when he passed, I kind of felt like I kind of felt very empty in a sense, because I always pride myself, and I had 3 wives to doing what I do. That's my grandmother, my grandfather, and my mom. Okay. My grandfather being the biggest wife. That was all. He was always my biggest role model. So when he passed, I kind of, in a sense, I felt like I didn't have a reason to do what I did anymore. Like I was in another, like I got hurt in 2018, lost my grandmother at the end of 2018, had a rough 2019, then 2020 came, and then all this was happening, and just like I just felt like I didn't have a reason to do anything. Right. So then I really sat back and I started just looking at the bigger picture, and it was like, okay, what can I do to impact others' lives? And that's when I decided to call Coach Patrick up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take the job. I'll come out there or whatever. And it's like, it was kind of like a win-win situation. I come here, he allowed me to train. He's very linear with my schedule. He's very understanding. So it's like, and then I felt like since I've been here, I've made the necessary changes. I'm seeing a lot of new things in these athletes and the program as a whole, and Coach Patrick as well. So, like, yeah.
No, definitely. Coach Pat, man, great guy.
Yeah.
And speaking on the A-State fam, like, we lucky to have you, man. We really need great young coaches that bring, new ideas to the program. Yeah. But also being like that coach that can relate to the kids as well, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And you speak on impact and impacting the kids. You being in a coaching position and some, a lot of times a mentor position, what is like the generic advice that you give to your athletes?
Stay positive. Like at the beginning of the year, I always have them write their goals down, but this year I had them just tell me their goals out loud so I can hear them. And the difference from this year, from the very first week that I got here, I had money to do it as well. I had them write their goals out. The difference from that time to now is so much. Like it's so much bigger. It's a huge difference. Okay. Because you had them thinking like I just want to make the conference finals, and now I have girls like Janae, like I want to run 10-9. I want to make the national team. Have long jumpers saying I want to jump 22 feet. And it's just like the mentality and the change is just so different.
No, definitely. And for those who will be listening, tuned in, interested in a career field similar to yours, what advice would you give them to be successful?
Stay within yourself and don't pay attention to the negative feedback that you're gonna get from others. Because when people found that I was coaching and training at the same time, like, and it's guys who are well known in the track and field world, big coaches said like you're not going to be able to coach and train at a high level. Correct. This year it's like I just made my first world's team, right, training and coaching, and my thing is like if you can find a balance in whatever you want to do in life, go for it. Like you can juggle 3-4 things at the same time. Like the only issue that comes with that is what people try to withhold you from.
Mm-hmm. I love it, man. I love it. When you got any questions? I think we got them all tackled, man. Like I said, I appreciate that for sure, man. This was a great interview, bro. Like I said, from the A-State alumni, track and field alumni family. Dog, we appreciate you. Wishing you nothing but success this upcoming season for not only A-State, but you as a professional athlete. Praying for nothing but PRs, great time, and nothing but success.
Oh yeah, this year gonna be crazy.
No, definitely. We'll keep updated, bro. For sure. We appreciate you.
All right, no problem.